I am carrying my brother-in-law's baby. It sounds crazy when I say it out loud. It sounds like a secret I should hide, but it is my life. My name is Jessica. This is my story. It is a story about love. It is a story about family. It is also a story about a big mistake. Or maybe it is not a mistake. I am not sure yet. My heart is very confused. I want to tell you everything. I want you to understand me. Maybe you have a secret too. Maybe you feel confused sometimes. Life is not always simple. Life is not always black and white. Sometimes life is gray. Let me start at the beginning. I married my husband Mark 5 years ago. I was 22 years old. Mark was 24. We were very young. We were very much in love. Mark is a good man. He is a tall man with kind eyes. He works very hard. He is a carpenter. He builds houses. He builds tables and chairs. His hands are rough, but his heart is soft. I loved him the moment I saw him. We had a simple dream. We wanted a small house. We wanted a dog. And most of all, we wanted children. I always wanted to be a mother. When I was a little girl, I played with dolls. I pretended they were my babies. I fed them, I dressed them, I sang to them. I knew that one day I would be a real mother. I talked about it with Mark all the time. We will have 3 children, I told him. 2 boys and 1 girl. Mark smiled at me. Whatever you want, Jessica, he said. I just want you to be happy. We were happy. For the first 2 years, life was perfect. We bought a small house. It was old, but Mark fixed it. He painted the walls yellow. He made a beautiful wooden crib for our future baby. We put the crib in the empty room next to our bedroom. We called it the baby's room. Every day I walked into that room. I looked at the empty crib. I imagined a baby sleeping there. I felt warm inside. But time passed. 1 year went by, then 2 years, then 3 years. I did not get pregnant. At first, we were not worried. It takes time, my mother said. Be patient. So we were patient. We waited. We tried, but nothing happened. Every month I felt sad. Every month I cried in the bathroom. Mark hugged me. Do not cry, Jessica, he said. It will happen soon. But it did not happen. Finally, we went to see a doctor. We went to a big hospital in the city. We did many tests. It was scary. I do not like hospitals. They are cold and white. The doctors were serious. We waited for the results for 2 weeks. Those 2 weeks were very long. I could not sleep. Mark was quiet. He held my hand, but his hand was shaking. Then the doctor called us into his office. He sat behind a big desk. He looked at his papers. He looked at us. He did not smile. I have bad news, the doctor said. My heart stopped. I looked at Mark. Mark looked at the floor. Jessica is healthy, the doctor said. She can have children. But Mark, the doctor continued. Mark, you have a problem. You cannot have children. It is not possible for you. The room was silent. The silence was heavy. It felt like a stone in my chest. I looked at my husband. Mark's face was pale. He looked like he was in pain. He did not say anything. He just nodded his head. We drove home in silence. Mark drove the car. I looked out the window. The sun was shining, but my world felt dark. That night, Mark cried. It was the first time I saw him cry. He is a strong man. He never cries, but That night he put his head in his hands and he sobbed. "I am sorry, Jessica," he said. "I am so sorry. I cannot give you a family. I am broken." It broke my heart to hear him say that. I hugged him tight. "No, Mark," I said. "You are not broken. I love you. We will find a way. We will be okay." But we were not okay. For months, our house was sad. The nursery doors stayed closed. We did not talk about babies. Mark worked more. He came home late. He was tired. He felt guilty. I tried to be happy, but I was lonely. The dream of a baby was fading away. Then one evening, Mark's brother came to visit. His name is David. David is Mark's younger brother. They look a little bit alike. They both have dark hair. They both have the same nose. But David is different. Mark is quiet and serious. David is loud and funny. Mark likes to stay home. David likes to go out. Mark wears work clothes. David wears nice shirts. David came for dinner. I cooked chicken and rice. We sat at the table. It was nice to have company. We laughed a little. It felt like the old days. After dinner, Mark looked at David. He looked nervous. "David," Mark said, "I need to ask you something. It is a big favor." David smiled. "Anything, brother? You know that. What do you need? Money? Help with the car?" Mark took a deep breath. He looked at me, then at David. "I cannot have children," Mark said. "You know this, Jessica, and we want a baby more than anything. We want a baby that is part of our family, part of our blood." David stopped smiling. He listened carefully. "We talked to the doctor," Mark said. "We can use a donor, but I do not want a stranger. I want the baby to be like me. I want the baby to be a part of us." Mark paused. The room was very quiet. The clock on the wall went tick, tick, tick. "David," Mark said softly, "will you help us? Will you give us a baby?" I held my breath. I looked at David. His eyes were wide. He was shocked. He looked at Mark. Then he looked at me. I felt shy. My face felt hot. This was a very strange conversation. It was awkward. David was silent for a long time. Then he looked at his brother. He saw the pain in Mark's eyes. He saw the hope in my eyes. "Wow," David said. That is big." "I know," Mark said. "If you say no, I understand." It is a lot to ask. David took a sip of his water. He looked at the family photos on the wall. He looked at the empty high chair in the corner. "You are my brother," David said. "I love you. I hate to see you sad. If this makes you happy, if this gives you a family, then yes, I will do it." Mark started to cry again. He stood up and hugged David. "Thank you," he said. "Thank you, brother." I smiled. I felt a spark of hope. "Thank you, David," I whispered. That was the beginning. The process was medical. It happened in a clinic. It was not romantic. It was science. David went to the clinic. Then I went to the clinic. The doctors helped us. We waited again. We waited for 2 weeks. Then I took a test, a pregnancy test. I sat in the bathroom. I looked at the stick. 2 pink lines. Positive. I was pregnant. I ran out of the bathroom. "Mark! Mark!" I shouted. Mark ran to me. What is it?" "I am pregnant," I cried. "It worked." Mark picked me up and spun me around. He laughed. I laughed. We were so happy. We called David. It worked, Mark told him. You are going to be an uncle. David sounded happy too. That is great news, he said. Congratulations, guys. For the first few months, everything was wonderful. I felt sick in the mornings, but I did not care. I was growing a life inside me. Mark was happy again. He started working on the nursery again. He built a bookshelf. He bought toys. But then things started to change. And this is the part where it gets complicated. This is the part where I ask myself, what have I done? Because Mark had to work very hard. Babies are expensive. We needed money for the doctor. We needed money for clothes and diapers. Mark took extra jobs. He worked on weekends. He left the house at 6 in the morning. He came home at 8 at night. He was exhausted. When he came home, he ate dinner, showered, and went to sleep. He was too tired to talk. He was too tired to touch my belly. But David was there. David lived near us. He was single. He had free time. He started coming over to check on me. Mark asked me to help. David said he was worried about you being alone. At first, it was simple. David brought me groceries. He mowed the lawn because Mark was busy. He fixed a leak in the sink. Thank you, David, I said. You are very kind. It is nothing, he said. It is for the baby. It is for my nephew or niece. I liked having David around. The house was quiet when Mark was gone. David made the house noisy and bright. He told jokes, he told stories, he made me laugh. One afternoon, I was sitting on the sofa. I was 6 months pregnant. My back hurt. My feet were swollen. I felt ugly and heavy. David came in. He had a bag of food. I brought you ice cream, he said, and pickles. I heard pregnant women like that. I laughed. That is gross, David. But I want the ice cream. We sat on the sofa and ate ice cream. David looked at my stomach. It was big and round. Can I touch it? He asked. He looked shy. Sure, I said. He put his hand on my belly. His hand was warm. Suddenly, the baby kicked. David's eyes went wide. Whoa, did you feel that? Yes, I said. He is strong. He kicked me, David said. He smiled a big, beautiful smile. Hello in there. It is me, Uncle David. He kept his hand on my stomach. He did not move it. We sat there for a long time. The room was quiet. I looked at David's face. He looked so gentle. He looked so happy. My heart beat faster. I felt a strange feeling in my chest. It was a warm feeling. It was a soft feeling. It was a feeling I should not have. I looked at David, and I did not see my brother-in-law. I saw a man. I saw the father of the baby inside me. Technically, he was the father. Biologically, the baby was half mine and half his. Mark was going to be the dad, but David was the father. I quickly moved away. I need water, I said. I stood up. David looked at me. His smile faded a little. Are you okay, Jessica? Yes, I said. Just thirsty. I went to the kitchen. My hands were shaking. I drank a glass of water. Stop it, Jessica! I told myself, this is wrong. You love Mark. David is his brother. But the feelings did not stop. They grew. Mark was working so hard. I missed him. I missed his voice. I missed his time. But every time I wanted to talk, he was asleep or he was at work. David was always there. He drove me to my doctor appointments when Mark could not go. We sat in the waiting room together. People looked at us. They smiled. They thought we were a couple. They thought David was my husband. "Your husband is very attentive," the nurse said to me. One day, I opened my mouth to say, "He is not my husband." But the words did not come out. I just smiled. Yes, he is, I thought, but I did not say it. David heard the nurse. He did not correct her either. He just winked at me. That wink, it made my stomach flip. We went for lunch after the doctor. We talked about everything. We talked about names for the baby. "If it is a boy, I like the name Leo," David said. "I like Leo too," I said. "Mark likes the name John. John is boring," David joked. "Leo is cool like a lion." I laughed. "You are bad, David. Do not talk about Mark like that." "I am just saying," David said. He looked into my eyes. "I want this baby to be cool like his uncle." "Or his father," I said. David went quiet. He looked down at his food. Yes, or his father. We had a connection. I could feel it. It was the baby. The baby connected us. We shared blood now. We shared a life. I started to dream about David. In my dreams, we were a family. David, me, and the baby. We lived in a house by the ocean. Mark was not there. When I woke up from these dreams, I felt terrible. I felt so guilty. I looked at Mark sleeping beside me. He looked so tired. He was doing everything for me. He was sacrificing his life for this baby. And here I was, dreaming about his brother. I am a bad person. That is what I thought. I am a terrible wife. One rainy afternoon, the electricity went out. It was a big storm. The house was dark. Mark was still at work. I was scared of the dark. I called Mark. "When are you coming home?" I asked. "I cannot leave yet, Jessica," Mark said. "The roads are bad, and I need to finish this job. I will be late. Use the flashlight. You will be fine." "Okay," I said. I felt tears in my eyes. I felt abandoned. 10 minutes later, there was a knock on the door. It was David. He was wet from the rain. He held a bag of candles. "I thought you might be scared," he said. I let him in. "Thank you, David." We lit the candles in the living room. The candlelight danced on his face. The light was soft and golden. It was romantic. It shouldn't be, but it was. We sat on the floor on the rug. The thunder was loud outside, but inside it was warm. "You look beautiful, Jessica," David said. I looked at him. He was very handsome. "David, don't," I whispered. "Don't what?" he asked. He moved closer. "Don't tell the truth." "You are glowing. Pregnancy suits you." "I am huge," I said. "I am fat." "No," he said. "You are perfect." He reached out and touched my face. His thumb brushed my cheek. My heart hammered in my chest. Boom, boom, boom. I wanted him to kiss me. I really did. In that moment, I forgot about Mark. I forgot about my marriage. I only felt the attraction. I only felt the closeness. He leaned in. His face was close to mine. I closed my eyes. Then the baby kicked hard. A big, strong kick. It startled me. My eyes snapped open. I put my hand on my stomach. The baby. Mark's baby. David's baby. Our baby. I remembered Mark's face at the doctor's office. I remembered him crying. I remembered him saying, "I just want you to be happy." Mark loved me so much. He asked his brother to help us because he loved me. He was working in the storm right now because he loved me. If I kissed David, I would destroy everything. I would break Mark's heart. I would break the family before it even started. I pulled back. I stood up quickly. "No," I said. "No, David, we can't." David looked at me. He looked confused. Then he looked ashamed. He stood up too. I am sorry," he said. "I got carried away. The storm, the candles." "You have to go," I said. My voice was shaking. "Please, David, you have to go." "Jessica, Please," I said. "Go." David nodded. He picked up his coat. He looked at me one last time with sad eyes. Then he walked out into the rain. I locked the door. I blew out the candles. I sat in the dark and cried. I cried for a long time. I cried because I felt guilty. I cried because I almost made a huge mistake. And I cried because part of me, a small secret part of me, wanted him to stay. When Mark came home, it was late. He was wet and cold. He looked exhausted. "Are you okay?" he asked. "I saw the candles. Did the power come back?" "Yes," I lied. "I am fine." He came over and kissed my forehead. "I missed you today," he said. "I am sorry I work so much. I just want everything to be ready." I looked at his tired face. I saw the love there. It was a quiet love. It was a steady love. It was not exciting like David. It was not a spark. It was a fire that burns for a long time to keep you warm. I hugged him. I hugged him so tight. "I love you, Mark," I said. "I love you so much." "I love you too, Jessica," he said. He rubbed my back. "Only one more month. Then the baby will be here. Then I will take time off. We will be a family." "Yes," I said. "A family." The next month was hard. I stayed away from David. I did not answer his calls. When he came to the house, I was busy. I stayed in my room. Mark thought I was just tired. David understood. He gave me space. Finally, the day came. It was a Tuesday morning. I felt a pain, a sharp pain. "Mark, it is time!" I yelled. We rushed to the hospital. The pain was terrible. It hurt so much. I screamed. I cried. Mark was there. He held my hand. He wiped my forehead. "You can do this, Jessica," he said. "Breathe. Just breathe." He did not leave my side for hours. He was my rock. He was my strength. Then, at 4 p.m., our son was born. He cried. It was a loud, beautiful cry. The doctor put him on my chest. He was small and wet and warm. He had dark hair. He had 10 tiny fingers and 10 tiny toes. I looked at him. I felt a love so big, it exploded in my heart. Mark looked at him. Tears ran down his face. "He is beautiful," Mark whispered. "He is perfect." We named him Leo. Mark agreed to the name. He did not know David suggested it. He just liked the name. An hour later, there was a knock on the door. It was David. He stood in the doorway. He held a blue teddy bear. He looked at me. Then he looked at Mark. Then he looked at the baby. Mark smiled. "Come in, Uncle David. Come meet your nephew." David walked in slowly. He looked nervous. He came to the side of the bed. He looked down at the baby. Leo opened his eyes. He had dark eyes, just like Mark. Just like David. David reached out a finger. Leo grabbed it. "Hi, Leo," David whispered. His voice cracked. I watched them. I watched Mark and David and Leo. I looked at David's face. I saw love there. But I also saw something else. I saw respect. He looked at Mark holding the baby and he smiled. A real smile, not a flirty smile. A proud brother smile. And then I looked at Mark. He was glowing. He was the father, there was no doubt. He was the one who held my hand. He was the one who built the crib. He was the one who would raise this boy. My feelings for David changed in that moment. The romantic spark died. The confusion went away. I saw David clearly now. He was not my lover. He was not my partner. He was my brother. He was the uncle. He gave us a gift, a precious, amazing gift. But that was all. The baby did not belong to David. The baby belonged to us, to Mark and me. "He looks like you, Mark," David said. Mark laughed. "He has your chin, I think." "No," David said. He stepped back. "He is all you, brother. He is all you." David looked at me. Our eyes met. He nodded slightly. It was a silent message. We are okay. The moment has passed. We are family. I smiled back. A calm, peaceful smile. "Thank you, David," I said. "Thank you for everything." Now Leo is 6 months old. Our house is not quiet anymore. It is full of noise, crying, laughing, playing. Mark does not work as much. He stays home on weekends. He holds Leo all the time. He changes diapers. He feeds him. He is the best father in the world. David comes over on Sundays for dinner. He plays with Leo. He throws him in the air. Leo laughs. We all laugh. Sometimes when I see David holding Leo, I remember that stormy night. I remember the candles. I remember the temptation. I ask myself, what have I done? And then I answer myself, I made a family. It was messy. It was confusing. It was almost a disaster. I had feelings I shouldn't have had. I almost made a terrible mistake. But I didn't. I chose my husband. I chose my loyalty. And because of that, we are happy. If you are in a situation like this, if you are confused, listen to me. Feelings are like the weather. They change. They come and go. A storm can be exciting, but it can destroy your house. Love, real love, is the house. It protects you. It keeps you safe. Mark is my house. David was just a storm. I am glad the storm is over. I am glad the sun is shining. I look at my son and I look at my husband, and I know I am exactly where I am supposed to be. My name is Jessica. I carried my brother-in-law's baby, but I gave birth to my husband's son. And that is the only truth that matters. You can get through hard times too. You can feel confused and still do the right thing. It is okay to be scared. Just keep going. Keep loving the people who treat you well. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope it helps you. Life is a journey, and we are all just learning how to walk. Goodbye for now.